I'm not making any money. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use. Fair use.
I think about me.
Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To your sisters, Yochwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yehawada with the lesson. And I did this other lesson on the Kim Kardashian getting the Neuralink, and then all these other things kind of basically surrounding that whole thing. Basically made me, I had to do this lesson right here, because this thing is connected to so much stuff. Just this whole thing with this Neuralink, and here in Phoenix, I.C.E just bought a a facility that's 7 football fields wide, so in diameter space. It has enough space for 7 football fields. So you can only imagine what that's about, right? But it's crazy that the whole Neuralink is connected to this whole thing with ICE. This whole thing was about to come on the scene, the MOTB. So these are, like they said, to say, to say interesting times is like an understatement, right?
Everyone in my position tries to move something of the body to see if there is any form of recovery. But now I think about moving my hand, and it's cool to see that when I think about moving my hand, something actually happens.
It does seem quite magical.
No, it looks magical and it feels magical. So yeah, you can compare it to that. And then you put it over my head.
This?
Okay. And eventually you will see the charging go green. There you go. If you hold it to my head right there,
yep,
this means this is how you charge it. And right now, technically it's charging.
So I'm charging the chip.
That is exactly what you're doing.
If you don't mind telling me, how did it happen?
I went home to visit my family in Venezuela, and as a holiday treat, we did a bit of diving. And when I dived, I hit the floor and hit my head, and alongside breaking my neck, also broke my front 2 teeth. And yeah, that's how I started. For me, at the beginning was first being able to talk, being able to eat. Then I started looking at, okay, what can I actually do?
Today was the first time I actually see him use it, and it was mind-blowing. You can see how the level of control that he has, which is akin to someone using a mouse, and even faster.
So I think I'm moving my hand to the right, to the left, think about clicking my fingers, and the technology just understands what I want to do, and it does it.
So you've been playing chess as well with this?
Yes, I have. One of the first things I tried when I got the chip was to see how does this work with chess, and it works exactly as you would think. Being able to actually do the moves myself instead of asking someone else to do the moves for me. I get to enjoy playing, get to enjoy playing against friends, get to enjoy playing against other people who have no clue I'm playing with my brain. which makes it so interesting.
For him, this is very big. He's a medical student, and he wants to continue with his studies.
The next steps were being able to use a keyboard, and I guess long down the line, being able to control a robotic arm.
As we advance the Neuralink devices, you should be able to actually have full body control and sensors from an Optimus robot, not just the hand. The whole thing. The future is going to be weird, but pretty cool.
He's become quite a controversial figure. Has that ever played in your mind?
Not yet. Right now, what I've seen is an amazing team of engineers who, for me, have been the front end of it and seen the potential of stuff they're able to do. Something that my dad told me is you can either watch people be part of the journey, or you can be part of the journey yourself. Obviously, there's no guarantee this is going to work. There's no guarantee this will do any of the stuff we promise. But I thought, what do I have to lose?
I just have this really bad feeling that Elon Musk might be our Dr. Joseph Mengele, and here's why. First of all, if you haven't already, please go follow me over on Substack, The Dre Dossier. It's free. The link is in my bio. This full video is going to be posted there along with a deeper dive and with all of my sources cited, so please go subscribe. So in July of 2025, this year, Elon Musk announced that Neuralink needs to go from 7 brain implants to about 1,000 implants by the end of 2026. Now, that's about 993 people over the course of, 15 months now, who would be willing to get an experimental brain surgery. That's like 60 some odd patients a month. And at the rate in which it took him to get 7 done, feels nearly impossible, if you ask me. Now, there are a couple things that have been bothering me, especially about these Neuralink sites, because they have approved through the FDA 2 sites in the United States. One, which is in Phoenix, Arizona, at the Barrow Neurological Institute, and the other, which is in Miami, Florida, which is at the University of Miami, which has a big neurological brain study program. Both of those cities also have really, really large ICE detention centers very close by. Now, yes, in Miami, they have Alligator Alcatraz, but they also have Chrome Detention Facility, which is like their super large one where a lot of the intake usually goes through. From December of 2024 to February of 2025, there have been 3 deaths once a month at Chrome Detention Facility, and all of them had to do with neurological symptoms, like brain hemorrhages and seizures and vomiting and the like. Not unlike what a lot of the outcomes of the monkeys that Elon Musk used to operate on looked like. Just for the record. Now, there's a different kind of pattern that's equally concerning in Phoenix, Arizona. So Neuralink operates, like I said, at the Barrow Neurological Institute, and then right nearby there are major ICE detention facilities, Eloy and Florence. Now, the amount of time spent in solitary confinement at these Arizona facilities went from 14 days in 2024, which had been a pattern since like 2021, to 38 days in 2025 as the average. Like, that's a 271% increase. 38 days is more than a month with no witnesses, no oversight, no documentation of what's happening. And all of this just so happens to be going on and increasing right when Neuralink is also trying to desperately scale up their operations so they can stay competitive with other countries. So those patterns have been bothering me for quite some time now, right? Especially with the Alligator Alcatraz now, like, missing hundreds of detainees that have no record and like all of it. So I decided to dig a little deeper tonight, and I went to usaspending.gov, which is this website where you can search for all of the federal contracts that are made public. So you can search for anything related to, I don't know, the Department of Defense and neurosurgery, for instance. And that's when I noticed something kind of weird happening, because Honolulu kept coming up a lot with DoD contracts and neurological surgery, like over and over and over again. And I'm thinking to myself, why Honolulu? Like, what's going on in Honolulu? I mean, all of them were from the Department of Defense, and they were all for these different neurological services, neurological procedures, neurological surgery practices, and they were all ramping up starting in 2025. And the company that was getting all of these contracts was called NIR LLC, and the work was being performed out of Triple Army Medical Center, which is this really big military hospital in Honolulu. I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, well, maybe this is just normal medical family military care. But when I went to look up NIR LLC to see if I could learn more about them, there was nothing about them online. There's no company website. There's no physician names, nothing on them. I mean, for a medical contractor who's doing so many neurological surgery procedures with federal money, not having so much as a website feels odd. But then, at the very bottom of the Google search, I saw a link to a MapQuest that said NIR, and it had like a little point of where it was. So I clicked the link, and it showed NIR LLC at the location of 888 South King Street in Honolulu. Now, if you were to look up NIR LLC on any other map, nothing comes up. But when you type in 888 South King Street, Honolulu, something does come up, and that something is Straub Medical Center, which is one of Hawaii's largest civilian hospitals that has a major neurology and neurosurgery department. So now I'm really confused, right? Because why is their billing address a commercial office building, but then they're actually operating out of a civilian hospital with a huge neurosurgery center, but then the Department of Defense is paying them for services at a military hospital all on the same island? Like, this feels like a paper trail that's being obfuscated on purpose a little bit. I'm thinking, well, maybe does Neuralink operate out of Honolulu, Hawaii? And I just didn't know about it. And I look it up, and no, Hawaii isn't listed on the official trial site. It's just Miami, Florida, and Phoenix, Arizona, and then Toronto, Canada. I'm thinking to myself, well, just because the FDA doesn't know about it doesn't mean that it's not necessarily happening. So I decided to go on LinkedIn to see if I can find anybody who has Neuralink listed as their current employer and also lives in Honolulu, Hawaii. And that's when I find two people. First one is a clinical project manager who works at Neuralink and lives in Honolulu, Hawaii. And it looks like she's been with Neuralink for a few years now. And I looked at her job responsibilities, and it said trial site management, implementation of clinical trials, management and oversight of external vendors, negotiating and building relationships with organizations. She manages trial sites and external vendors, but Hawaii isn't an official Neuralink trial site. So what you doing, sis? The other person I found was this guy who runs something called Hang 10 Capital, and he lives in Honolulu, Hawaii. And it's a private equity firm that also runs out of Honolulu, Hawaii. And they invest in things like fintech and food startups, but I looked at their portfolio and saw Neuralink listed. All right, so we have some smoking guns in Honolulu. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if the thesis here is that something sus is going on with Neuralink and the operation facilities being close to ICE detention centers, does this fit that thesis? Like, is there an ICE detention facility near these, medical facilities in Honolulu? And oh boy, did I regret asking that question. Apparently, in February of 2025, ICE had signed an agreement to start housing detainees at FDC Honolulu. That's a 992-bed detention center facility. Like, I didn't know about, did anybody else know about this? And then I found an article from July 2025 that was talking about this and was saying that detainees were being transferred to Hawaii from Florida and Arizona detention facilities, the exact two states where Neuralink trials had started. And so I looked at the distance between FDC Honolulu and Straub Medical Center, where NIR LLC actually operates from, apparently, and it's 8 miles, a quick 15-minute drive. And to make things worse, the same time in February of 2025, when that agreement was being signed between ICE and Honolulu, Elon Musk's Doge was still in the White House. You remember that? And they had apparently, while they were there, had fired 20 FDA employees that month in February. And so I looked up which department they were from, and they were from none other than the Office of Neurological in February. And so I looked up which department they were from, and they were from none other than the Office of Neurological and Physical Medicine Devices. Yeah, the exact office that oversees Neuralink's clinical trials. Anyone else feeling a little bit queasy, or is that just me? And so I'm looking into this further, and I found that when detainees are transferred to Hawaii, they're apparently often going through 5 to 7 different facilities first. Like, one detainee was arrested in Florida in May and then went through 2 other facilities, then to Louisiana, then Arizona, and then some California facilities, and then landed in Hawaii. He wasn't even served with a charging document until June. That's a month of completely unaccounted time. And just think about it. Not only is there minimal oversight during that month, but then by the time that they get to Hawaii, they're 4,500 miles away from anyone. That's complete isolation. And then if they complain after a procedure is over, they can just be deported and nobody would even know about it. That's exactly what happened at Irwin County Detention Center in Georgia, where women were reported as having unauthorized gynecological procedures and then were deported within days if they complained. Oh, and I forgot to mention that in April of 2025, acting ICE Director Todd Lyons had given a presentation at the Border Security Expo in Phoenix, and he had specifically stated that they had been working with Elon Musk's Doge frequently. That just doesn't make me feel any better either. So look, either I'm seeing patterns that just aren't there, or we're watching something horrifying happen in real time. I mean, these are people who can't speak out, who can't sue, who can't even call their families. I mean, these people have moved through multiple facilities with no documentation and ended up moving 4,500 miles away from anybody who could do anything to help them. And if they wake up one day with scars that they don't remember getting, who is going to believe them? I need people talking about this, journalists who are in positions of power who can investigate NIR, LLC, and lawyers who are asking about these transfers to come forward and speak publicly about it, and someone with power demanding these answers, because I don't know what to do. Because if I'm wrong, then great. We can all sleep better at night knowing that this is just some bizarre coincidence. But if I'm right, then that means every day that we're not talking about this is another day that somebody could be getting hurt.
It's the size of 7 football fields. ICE hasn't said how it'll be used, but for people living near Dysart Road and Cactus Road, the purchase is raising questions.
As long as it's secure.
Brittany Fee lives less than 1,000 feet from the warehouse.
The things that have occurred are sad and unfortunate, but I'm not against it. I'm not 100% in support of it.
Her main concern, whether the facility will attract crowds of protesters.
If it gets noisy, that's probably going to be an issue for the neighborhood. We all have kids or pets. My dogs are going to go nuts.
But for Marcus Curley, a Native American who lives nearby, this facility represents something more personal.
They're right down from where I live.
He now carries personal documents, including his birth certificate, at all times.
I don't want to end up in jail. Our whole family member, we all went to Staples, got all our records, yep. So we're prepared just in case.
It's the size of 7 football fields. ICE hasn't said how it'll be used.
2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 9. And therefore, saith Yahweh, right? Or this, out of one, right? Lord, which is, starts with Yahweh. Then his only begotten son, which is Yahweh Shai, which is second in command. Right, which the Lord is going to give him full authority, over all things, so the true judge, jury, and executioner is Yahweh Shai, right? So, and I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent and righteous blood from among them, right? Because what? The elect is amongst all the nations, right? And you've had, there's a thing called regeneration or reincarnation, just to make it simple. The elect have came and gone many times. And they're back now. And there's nothing new under the sun. Some will be beheaded in these last days. So it's going to be innocent blood from among them. Who? These heathen. Started with Esau Edom. These other nations and 2/3 of the Israelites. Right? All 12 tribes. Right? Behold, my people, right, which are the Israelites, is led as a flock to the slaughter, right, under these, the premonition of somehow things to get better if you just bow down to the system, if you want your snaps, your EPT, your Section 8, whatever they get, but really they're going to cut off the Section 8. They're just going to give you just universal basic income, which most people are going to, because really why this is saying a slaughter too, because the elite planned on destroying majority of the population of the earth. So the chance that you think you're going to make it is most likely slim to none. I'm talking about just anybody, right? When you're talking only 500 million is what they want to save, there's a very high probability that you will not be one of those 500 million, right? So you might as well buck up against the system instead of going with it. But we know a lot of people are going to just go ahead and get the charagma. They're going to try to do things the way the system says, because it's gonna cause you, force you. Basically, he's gonna withhold the goods, so to speak, and cause you to fall into mischief, unto sin, unto idolatry, and ultimately outside of the temple. Basically, you're gonna be a profane person as Esau, and the Lord is allowing Esau to lead you this way, right? Remember the fight that the Lord took the Israelites on, and he asked them to kneel down, or to go ahead and let them drink, right? Yeah, it's right here. Judges 7:5. I'm gonna do it from the Amplified over here. So he brought the people down to the water, and Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadas, said to Gideon, right, you shall separate everyone who laps the water with his tongue, like a dog lappeth, as well as everyone who kneels down to drink. Right? He says, now the number of those who lappeth the water put their hand on their mouth, who was 300 men, right? Only 300 men did this out of all these children of Israel, these warriors that were out there, right? Only 300 men did it basically the correct way, right? But all the rest of the people kneeled down to drink water. And Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, the reason why I'm saying Yahweh Shai, I know this is Old Testament, and then technically they wasn't recognizing Yahweh Shai at that time, but trust me, Yahweh Shai was there, right? You know, he's in everything, right? So, and that's where we're at now, because the Lord's given Yahweh Shai, you know, everything basically. So that's the understanding now. We have the understanding that's the Father and the Son, right? So it says, so Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Rakakadash, told Gideon, with the 300 men who lappeth, I will rescue you and will hand over the Midianites to you. Let all the other people go, each man to his home, right? And that's basically, similar to you Jakes, man. A lot of you don't have a royal mentality, right? Why would you jump down there like you're an animal and kneel down to drink water, instead of being someone with some type of dignity, having a royal mentality? You pull water, you kneel down, pull the water up to you. You know what I mean? You got to have some dignity. You have a royal mentality, and that's why only those 300 were the ones who were to fight, and the ones who were going, and which the small number of 144,000 is small to a planet that has about 8 billion people, right? Which the elite planned on slaughtering 700 and 500 million of those people. 700 billion Slakia, 700 billion, 500 million, and only leaving the other 500 million or so, right? This is their plan anyway. But the Lord has a plan to deliver you would deliver Israel through the elect, right? Which the kingdom will be the kingdom of our Lord, right? Yahweh Bashem Shai, which ultimately is going to be Yahweh Shai's. But of course, Yahweh guarantee Yahweh Shai is going to give Yahweh the glory too, as well as bro. It's going to be something different. It's going to be a royal class, just like how I was just meditating on that because like Yahweh told Yahweh Shai, come and sit at my right hand, and I will make your enemy your footstool, right? And I was thinking about meditating on how Apostle Har always speaks about it being Kairos, and Kairos means superior, right? And I know you don't say it that way because it's his name is Yahweh or the existing one, but if you look at it in the understanding of the Kairos or the superior said unto my superior, come and sit down at my right hand, and I will make right, showing you that there's a contrast even in that Yahweh Shai has a superior, right? And they're not the same when you look at it that way, and then you have a superior. Yeah, to come back right here, because this is why you're gonna get led as a flock to the slaughter, because you don't have a royal or ruling class mentality. You're gonna just basically you don't understand this thing, right? That's the reason why Yahweh Shai told the centurion, when the centurion said, "Hey, look, no, just send. I know he'll be healed, because I'm to a man under authority, but also have authority. If I tell someone go and do this, they'll go do it. But also, as well as they come tell me do this, that, and I do it. So I believe you have that type of authority, and that's how you have to understand how heaven works, and that's where your belief system has to come from too, right? A royal class mentality, right? It says but he will bring them. It's like, did I do it? It says, yeah, hold on, I do it. It says, behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? And this place is spiritually Egypt, America, right? Spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, right? Where the cruel Lord is at, right? Which is Donald J. Trump. So they're going to show their horns. That's what's happening right now. That's how you're about to be led as a flock to the slaughter. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, right? Which means Yahweh Shai, right? And the angels are coming, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So this is talking about showing you that it's a spiritual Egypt. It's another Egypt, totally different Egypt, because the first Egypt got smitten with the plagues. The Pharaoh went into the Gulf of Suez, running after the Israelites. The Lord released the water. He drowned. The Israelites made it to the other side. That gave the praise of Yahweh into all the known earth at the world at that time, which it's about to be that again, right? The Lord is about to crack the Shemayims, the water, the skies, though this time, and the Fathership, and going to shoot laser beam from the chariots, right? And allow those intercontinental ballistic missiles to do their job, right? The smith to blow off the coal, right? Created the waster to waste, man. He created Esau to be the son of perdition, right? And that's what's about to happen to his kingdom. But in the meanwhile, in the between while, you didn't have a royal class mentality. Oh, you guys are those black Hebrew Israel. Wait a minute, bro. Where is the place called black? If you believe you came off slave ship and you came from slave, where did you come from? Where's the language? Where's this and that? Why the people in Nigeria say that they're Israelites? Why are there people in Ghana keeping customs saying that they're Israelites? But we came from those places, especially like Nigeria. You know what I mean? The Igbo, all these places. We came from amongst those people, but they're saying that but somehow nothing's clicking with you people. So you don't have a royal class mentality, you know, and that's why you're gonna get perished. You're gonna get sent home, so to speak, right? But you're gonna get sent home to perish, right? Because what it says, the Lord shall smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishments that the power, the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash, shall bring upon it, right? And this is all the Lord's will, what Donald J. Trump is doing. Okay, yes, this is Jeremiah chapter 43, verse 11. It says, and when he cometh, who's coming? When he cometh, who's the he? He shall smite the land of Egypt. Who? Yahweh Shai. Right? He's coming with all power and glory of his Father and judgment. Right? Coming back to judge the quick and the dead. And this place, Egypt, is talking about the spiritual place, Egypt, which is here in Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. Also, like I said, also spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, this place right here, also known as Nineveh, the merchant city, right? Assyria, right? This place has to be destroyed. You people don't. That's the same. You don't have a royal class mentality. That's why the Lord's gonna smite. Because you people are a bunch of Babylonians and Egyptians, man. Your mind is stuck in this place, man. Right? Stuck on Christianity. Right? Oh, meanwhile, they told, if you go into Christianity, you go back into the things they tell you. They tell you black people are mud people with no souls. This is what Christianity tells you. So basically, under that, you have no way to make it, but you're fighting head first to make sure that these Edomites make it. Because when you're speaking of this, well, I don't want to be in a heaven that a God is slaving people. You know what you're talking about? What you're really saying is you don't want a place where Edomites, so-called white people, are going to be enslaved. But that's okay. You don't have. But the Lord is going to smite, and you with it, right? And when he cometh, he shall smite. Not maybe, not possibly. He shall smite the land of Egypt, right, which is America, Babylon the Great, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as for the captivity to captivity, Salakia, and such as are for the sword to the sword. Man, it's going to be a lot of judgment going on. A lot of salvation too for the elect, for those, Lord willing, all those brothers that labored and didn't lose patience. Lord willing, the Lord save you, Lord willing, You know, you may not be part of a camp, or you may not be this or that, and you know, in the world or whatever, how things make you seem small, but you're not small, bro. The Lord said the least of the thing is actually greater. The least of the body, right? We're a whole body, but the very small thing, the thing that's supposed to be so called insignificant, is of great importance to Yahweh, man. So that's why he said, don't give up, man. Right? And I will kindle a fire in the house of the gods of Egypt, right? Your Christianity, your plantation Christianity, your Islam, your Buddha, your love of money, your gang banging, your love of being a man with a man, a woman with a woman, you know, your PDF foul lifestyle, right? Those are your gods in this place, man. Right? And ultimately, hey, you're gonna love it so much you can't do without it. You're gonna get the micro C hit, man. I can't see myself without the Edomites. I got the self-proclaimed so-called white man. No, I can't live without them. Please, micro C hit me. Hey, you people are bugged out, man. Far out there, man. You know. It says, Salakia. Yeah, the house of the gods of Egypt, right? And there's a bunch of gods here. The people are their own gods here. Their children, hey, that's why children are gonna have to go, right? I used to date a chick that was like that. Her daughter was basically her god, man. Whatever her daughter says, she's going with it, even though you're 30 and 40 and 50 years old. Whatever your daughter got the goddamn, you're listening to your daughter, but this is the person or the people you're dating or whatever, and this is your soul and the things you have to take accountability to the Father. She gonna have to take accountability for herself for the Father, but you're gonna have to take accountability for the Father for your own sins, but you're listening to someone else who's not even half your age, let alone, and don't have any true wisdom, but then you must don't either if you listen to someone who's just a child. Now, not to say that someone young can't give you wisdom, because obviously it's happened. What, Jeremiah, right? He was a young lad, right? But he was spitting facts, right? Right? Not just some off of whim and emotions and this and that and nothing practical. This is all practicality, Salaki, if that's a word, you know. You mean? It says them and carry them away captive. See, that's you have to have a royal class mentality in this Hebrew Israelite thing of ours, man. We're not black. We are the Israelites. And we have a royal class mentality, and we're going to take them captives. And he shall array himself with the land of Egypt as a shepherd putteth on his garment. Oh, he gonna show out. See? And when you're putting on a garment, you ain't putting on no dusty garment, especially when you're saying you're gonna array, you're gonna let yourself shine. You're gonna put on some royal clothing. Meanwhile, you're putting these people into captivity. What did captivity mean? Slavery. Right? It says, and he shall array himself with the land of Egypt as a shepherd putteth on his garment, and he shall goeth forth from thence in peace, man. Gonna make him quiet, man. Right? You know what I mean? Shalom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, royal class mentality. When we say shalom to you, that's royal class. Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom, shalom, Yahweh Bashim Shai Brakathat, man. We're pushing on the kingdom, man. A royal class mentality, man. Right. So this is Jeremiah 43:12. This is transliteration. I just want to shoot through here real quick and just see what that array means. He arrayed himself, yeah.
Strong's H 5844. Ata.
Ata, right? To cover and wrap oneself, right? Envelope oneself, right? Which is cover, yeah. Hey, man, what speaks about, we should take the riches of the heathen, right? You should boast yourself in the riches of the heathen, man. In the scriptures. That's basically what it's saying, man. We're going to take all the things that the wealth, the things, because remember they had this big ass wealth gap, put us at the bottom, but instead, Yahweh Shai is going to make the wealth gap, right? And they're going to be at the bottom. They're going to be enslaved, right? You got to have a royal class mentality, man. What do you mean? What do you? If that's God, I don't want to be. Well, hey, listen. Guess what? For the first 1,000 years, you won't be there. You know. You better hope you're an Israelite, because you be there, but you be there in chains. You know. Yeah, mourner. Right, one who covered. To cover and wrapped an envelope to, I don't know how to say that word, so I'm just going to do this.
Grasp.
Oh, grasp. Oh, right. When you're, think about it, as you need to do that, you need to grasp onto peace. Grasp onto shalom. Grasp onto a ruling class mentality. Because once these people are in, you can have peace. You ain't got to drive your car and see the black and whites behind you, which that's a symbolization of the Garden of Eden, right? That's the knowledge of good and evil. That's the reason why they have the black and whites. I don't know if you have black and whites where you're from, but where I'm from in Arizona, we have black and whites now, right? A couple years back, the scissors, Janet Napolitano, set it up for them to have the black and white, which that was symbolic, so they know the times that was coming, and they wanted people to have that contrast, the good and evil contrast of the fall. Which, if you understand from the time she did things, we've always had crime, but crime has gotten way worse since the cars are black and white. When most of our cars were just blue and white. Because blue represents righteousness, white represents purity. It was a lot less things. I mean, they're not saying that to happen, because every place still have gangs and drugs, but it's went crazy since they passed the thing and made all of Arizona go black and white. That's why that whole thing with LA, that's why it's so out of control, and it's been out of control because they've been black and white for forever, because they've been on that demonic witchcraft thing, Let me see if I can Claude array Claude cover field, put on, you can put on their riches, man. I mean I guess there's nothing else to say. So this is Jeremiah chapter 46 verse 17. They did cry there. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is but a noise, right? That's America, man. They made their hoopla. They rose to power, this and that. They boast themselves. They saying this and that. They got the world's greatest military, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. Okay, whatever. You had your time to shine and all this other stuff, but what? He have passed the time appointed. And that's what happened to Egypt. Because that's the same thing Pharaoh did. He was boasting himself as if he was a god. Same thing what these Edomites are doing now. They're boasting themselves as if they're God. Right? Not understanding you've passed the appointed time of your rulership. And the Lord's about to get ready to take you out. He's about to get ready to put you into slavery. He's about to put you into captivity. The Lord's mind is already made up. So it's pretty much done. You know? Everything's pretty much over but the crying and the the snot and the tears. Everything is over. It's pretty much done. You know? The Lord already made up his mind. Right? As I live, right? Save the king, the real king. The king whose name is Yahweh, right? He exists, the existing one. The one who could give the authority to his son to be the judge. Huh? The one who could give the authority to the elect to judge the world. Whew, man. What of hosts, man, who gives authority to the ICBM missiles to hit here and hit there and hit there and raise up conflicts and this and that. And the Lord said the slain of the Lord shall be many. Right? From one end of the earth to the other, people are going to be slain. They're going to get judged. That's all the Lord's will. He needs Esau to do this. He needs him to come down with great wrath. He needs him to try to wipe out the population because, hey, the Lord only wants a small population. Right? That's what he did with Gideon. He only had 300. This time the Lord only wants 144,000 and another innumerable multitude. He wants a small number himself. So guess what? I need you to do my dirty work. So go ahead and have at it. And while you're at it, you're gonna think you could save your kingdom, but it's the more you do it, the more it's slipping from your grips. The more you're falling into the ditch that you dug, and you're gonna fall into it yourself. That's what the scriptures already say. You can't change what the Most High has already ordained. Right? Of hosts, surely as Tabor is among the mountains. Sorry if I said that wrong. Tabor is among the mountains, right? And as Carmel by the sea, so shall he come. Who's coming? Yahweh Shai is coming. Through the power of Yahweh, man. Gonna give him all authority to judge. And what, man, where do you think you're gonna judge from? From the scriptures, man. While you saying that the laws are done away with, every judgment is gonna come out of the law, statutes, commandments. Man, you guys are crazy. It says, "Oh, thus daughter dwelling in Egypt," right? Daughter of Babylon, the daughter of Egypt, pretty much is what you are. You Jakes, you 2/3, right? You're here in this place of Egypt. You know what I mean? Furnish thyself to go into. Man, forget about. Furnish thyself to go into captivity. For Nofa, if I'm saying it right, Salakia, shall be waste and desolate. Desolate without inhabitants. Hey, is that not what the Lord's going to do to America? It's going to be without inhabitants, man. Totally waste. You ain't going to know what state, even though they're right next to each other. Where they have that monument up there between Arizona Utah. Is it Arizona? Is it Arizona? Nevada, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, and New Mexico, right? The four corners, not Utah, but the four corners. And they have this little monument. You step on one side and this and that. And basically you can stand in the middle and you can stand in all four states at one time. And they got like a little monument and it's a thing. And, you know, they plan on for that to be there forever. You know what I mean? So you could always know where those states lie at, right? That's gonna get waste, man. Through the missiles, that thing's gonna melt. It's gonna melt with fervent heat, man. You're gonna know from what place to what place is it. The lines of confusion ain't gonna be any more lines, right? Because you already crossed the line. Salakia, inside joke. But yeah, you know your time. This is he has passed the time appointed, right? You've already passed it, man, right? It says one more. It says Egypt is like a very fair heifer, right? Right, nice, good, hey, fat, ready for the kill, right? It's a good time to chop your thing right before the winter. So because you know when it's winter, it's kind of hard to go out and do a bunch of things. You gotta do it in moderation. So especially when it gets really, really cold, you have your meat and things already chopped up. You know, you make your slices and all your things. So you already have it in the house, and so you can keep warm. And it's like a heifer that's already ready for the kill. But destruction cometh. It cometh out of the north, right? And that north is what? Russia, right? That north country that the Lord said He's going to set up to destroy this place, man. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whether shall we go forth? Yeah, hey, what should we do? Where should we go? Right? Because basically you're like the unwise virgins, the five foolish virgins. Where you go? Hey, go to the sellers and buy. You ain't getting none of my oil, right? It was what we're going to take. Hey, go to the sellers and buy. You can't get none of this oil, right? Go. You know what I'm saying? That then thus shall tell them. Thus saith Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadas, such as for death to death, right? That's for you Jakes, you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Oh, Esau ain't alone. You're not gonna just get it by himself. You people, you didn't want to have a royal class mentality. You want this dude to rule over you forever. You want to get the micro C hip. You want to do all these different things. You don't want to let this devil go. But guess what? Judgment is coming. They're going into captivity, and you are gonna hey, such as for death to death, right? That's what's coming to you, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. You didn't want to listen. You want to be a foundational Black American. You want to laugh and joke and all these other things. Hey, and such as are for the sword to the sword. Come on, does that not sound familiar? And such as are for the famine to the famine. And they're already ready to do that to you. That whole cutting off the EPT was a test. See how you flip out. Oh, they do need us. They lean on the government more than we think. Oh, okay. They didn't trust in God. They didn't trust in their power, their God. They were flipping out talking about how they're going to steal stuff at the store. So that means these people don't trust in God. Oh, we got them. We got them. That's what they're thinking. Because really, everybody should have came out and started. Hey, what did you Israelites say? Yahweh. Oh man, let's start praying, or even pray that madness you were praying. No, something. Where's your faith? Pray to JC. You know what? In the name of JC, we gonna have food. We ain't gonna listen to Trump's lies. We ain't gonna flip out. We ain't gonna talk about stealing nothing. We're gonna pray to JC. That's what should have happened. Or you should have came to the Israelites and everybody should have been like, hey, you guys are right. These people is devils. How do we get back to Yahweh? Which way should we go? But since you didn't go, we're gonna tell you where you Lord, tell them where they can go. You know what I'm saying? You know? But is it straight to hell? You can go. You go straight to hell. Hey, which there's no such thing as a burning place that you burn forever. But you are going to go through some hellish conditions. Like you're going to go through hell on earth. You're going to go through. Hey, the Lord's saying it right here. Such as for the famine, to the famine, and such or as to the captivity. See, so they already have these facilities, 7 football fields long of these ICE facilities, and they're in different places, you know, to the point they're even tapping into your, just using you as guinea pigs. But that's what happened during the CVIT, right? Or the CV-19, right? Hey, and I will appoint, wait, doesn't it sound familiar? And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, because he's going to send forth his son. See? Because he sent his son before, last time in Egypt. The death angel that were going around killing the firstborn? That was Yahweh Shai, who you call JC. That's him. That's that God is all love that you think is all love. That guy's the one who pulled that off. And didn't blink. He didn't hesitate. He didn't blink. He didn't move. He didn't start shaking. He didn't tremble. He executed it perfectly. So perfectly that it was even the firstborn of the animals. Man, what did the animal, like even was it Ezekiel said, man, what did the trees do to you? What did the water do to you, Lord? What did the animals do? Even the animals. Whew. And the Lord, you must. Well, I ain't gonna say you must have forgot, because you must just don't know. He appointed. He have appointed a time for you that you have already passed. So you 2/3, you Israelites, if you don't get it before, and you ain't never gonna get it, but you are gonna. This is what the Lord said you are gonna get, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds. Saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The sword to slay, the dog to tear, right? And with the famine, people got a lot of dogs. I was looking at all these weird dogs people bring from other countries that don't belong in America. Imagine, because if we're starving, if Esau puts us in a starvation, even your animals are going to starve. What do you think these animals are going to do when they starve? You're going to be like, oh boy, remember, I'm your friend. Go fetch. You try, man. None of that's gonna work, man. That mug is gonna be hungry, right? And the dog to tear, and the fowls of heaven. Yeah, and the fowls of heaven. Yeah, my son, right? Yeah, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the field of the earth, Salakia, to devour and destroy, right? Because once these dead bodies are all over the ground, right? People be dropping because hey, Trump is pretending like he give a damn about Iran. You can't do that to your citizens. You can't just open fire. But meanwhile, ICE is going around pew-pewing, unaliving citizens right here. So see the hypocrisy? But you people, you're brain dead, right? Yeah, so with all that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, you Achwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball, and Kwam Yasharallah.